This is Japan's weirdest house. Well, the entrance to the front yard. This is the actual house itself right here, and everything around it is built to just be kind of amazing. Like right over here, there's this creepy little doll along with these Dragon Ball cups. All of this is just the front yard of the house, and this sign here says you can come in freely, just please don't leave the door open. Also, to come in here, you kind of gotta duck under, but we'll open this up and we'll start right here. Oh, wow. So this first section is seemingly just a room, but a really beautifully decorated room. Take a look at this sofa. And then we have all these sake bottles here lining the walls, as well as these little taiko drums over here. And then for some reason, up on this urn, there is a Cadillac symbol. But one of the things that caught my eye the most is actually this here collection of old coins. It says, "Korewa homono," so these are real, accounting to $40,000. There's no way. Like, if these are actually real, that is some peak high trust society stuff right there. I can't imagine just leaving that here. I met the owner right before coming in, and he seems like a really interesting gent. And there's a whole, I think it's just a kitchen. Seems to be a kitchen-esque space in here with some art. There's a Mona Lisa puzzle that is missing some pieces. And it looks like we can see out to another room there. Oh, I love this. It feels like a weird and wild Zelda level. I'm pretty sure we can go through here, but I want to go around because the yard is incredible and I want to show you. And coming back through the room here, I just noticed the chairs are quite literally propped up on cinder blocks. And there are a ton of bags lined up here, but it seems like this space is actually used. We're gonna have to ask the owner because there is a kerosene heater down here, but I want to get out and show you the yard. Also, the name of this place is very telling. It is the Adulto Hoikuen, or adult nursery, adult preschool. It's a bit of a weird name. Also, we can't forget to close this up. At one point, this was a farmer's field and then a bunch of other stuff. And he wanted to have kind of a hangout space for a lot of the locals. And it kind of grew into what it is now. There's a whole golden dragon's head over here. And as you can see, it actually takes up quite a bit of space with the house being down there. But this right here is kind of the main entry point. Feels like a weird post-bubble era theme park. As I'm walking here, I'm realizing the ground is actually covered not just in rocks, but in coins, like all over the place. Like, of course, there's a ton of gravel, but when you get a good look at them, they actually seem to be tokens for like old Japanese slots or something. It's a bit of an interesting approach. And then there's another room right here, and this whole room, that is just a room of corn. Like, a lot of it. Every single wall around me is covered in it, and they're all beautifully framed as well. The man definitely has a hobby, and if you take a look at some of the signs around here, I actually shouldn't be surprised by the room. The warnings were literally written on the wall. I also love how he'll just pose in front of signs that say perverted old man. He definitely has a sense of humor. But as we head inside this area here, we are greeted by that's a giraffe, and that giraffe is a slide, and we have yet another room right here. We gotta check out the rooms, right? This room, whole bunch of old phones, and that is I actually really like this phone. That is beautiful. And then abacuses, I never know the plural. Also, this is not a thrift store. None of this is for sale, but it kind of gives thrift store vibes. And if I stand up in here, I have to be really careful because the ceiling is incredibly low. And behind me is an entire box here full of bamboo flutes, as well as this sea turtle. I checked, he's not real. The owner, when I greeted him, he was like, "You make sure you come back later. There's some stuff I want to show you." So we have to go and do that. But it seems like bamboo is a bit of a theme here because it's absolutely everywhere. But I have nothing but questions. Like this random collection of helmets and watches. Also, I'm not going to be translating any of the writing today. If you want to Google Lens that for yourself, go ahead, but it really gives you a peek into his personality. I also just really want to, how does one go about acquiring a giant giraffe slide. And seemingly in moderately decent condition. Something tells me it probably didn't have the pachinko in it when it was wherever it was. This here just feels like it's a cement mixer off of the back of a cement truck. There's a technology section over here that seems to have seen better days. And I'm pretty sure at one point this was also a child's playground. We have a bunch of golf bags here that all have helmets on them painted in red paint. It's not creepy at all. Can you imagine driving through here at night, not knowing any of this, and then seeing these popping over the fence? That would kind of reminds me of Nagoro, the village with the dolls. But this little hut here kind of caught my attention because it says Yabai Iriguchi, like the crazy entrance. And then over here it says Majide Yabai, like it's really crazy. Now, coming in, there's just 3 seats and a box of tissues. We'll kind of leave that as it is. But as you go in here, it's not the room of dolls that kind of freaks me out. It's kind of what I peeked through here. This is the Yabai Iriguchi, the entrance to the craziness. If you come in here, that is, well, there's just a bed with a doll head in here. This is, I don't know what to say here. Some of the signs aren't that weird. Like we've got massage salon here. Here it tells you to make sure you put on the blanket before going to sleep. But it's definitely creepy. I would certainly not want to come by here at night. This is what I mean by high trust society though, because this kind of space could really get misused. But it seems there's a whole extra pathway back here, and it should lead to that room we saw earlier. It seems to break off to here and here. I think we came through here already, so we will go around this way. There we go. And then that leads us into this room right here. That's the door that we were at before. And it seems like it's just some kind of workspace. He's actually got tools and everything set up here, along with some adult-esque magazines and, well, some more corn. Also, some of his idol photos have been up on the walls so long that they've just been completely sun-bleached. And then coming out the back here, there's this somewhat low tunnel that looks like it leads out to another entrance right here that leads you right to his house. It's just wild to me that all of this is somebody's front yard. I can't wait to chat with him and see the house, but there are still so many more items to see here. So while we do a quick speed run of some of the best items, let's give some love to our sponsor, NordVPN. You probably know NordVPN, you might even be using them, but in case you're new to VPNs and what they can do, the simplest explanation is that they can make your computer or device look like it's accessing the internet from another country or location, which can be really helpful in doing things like accessing shows and streaming sites that may not be available where you're from. Now, I use it for 2 main things. Number 1 is anytime that I am on public Wi-Fi, for example, out in Tokyo or in an airport, in order to keep my data safe and keep me private. And number 2 is anytime that I'm booking overseas travel, as using a VPN to make it look like you're booking flights and hotels from within the country you're hoping to travel to has the potential of yielding cheaper results. Now, I keep NordVPN on all of my devices, and if you want to give it a shot, you can use the link in the description box below along with my code to give yourself a 2-year plan at a huge discount. The best part being is that NordVPN has a 30-day money-back guarantee, meaning you can essentially try it risk-free. So give it a shot. That wraps up our sponsor role. I managed to not walk into the door, and let's go say hello.
こんにちは。こんにちは。中条薩地85歳。これ住宅こっちは。まあ大体ね、大工が作ったとこもあるし、俺がいろいろ補助的に作ったとこもあるし、なんでこういうことが好きだから趣味。昔この辺はお蚕を飼ったんで、こんなのれんでシャレで吊るしてあるけど、下の明かり取り の意味もあるし、女性がスカートで履い立った時下から眺めようというそういう魂胆もあるわけ。なんでこんなに竹がいっぱいあるかっていうと、風呂を炊き上げるためにこれで竹を模して風呂を炊き上げる風呂釜。これだけ一応在庫があるから長持ちするかなと思っているんだけど、竹が終わる頃俺も死んじゃうから、まあそんな計画で今いろんな今解体が多いんだよ。だから一般の家庭もこれから倉庫とか物置とか、これから保育園幼稚園の解体が多い。それで解体してもらったもの、業者もこれを処分するのに金がかかるわけ。だから俺は持ってもらってただもらったんだけど、そのうちまた一つ増えるかもしれないけど、飾りとしては一応インパクトがあると思うんで、一応ここはアダルトの保育園になってるから、平成27年からその頃までやってた仕事を辞めてこう手間のゆとりができたんで、平成27年から少しずつ毎年少しずつ、今年で何年になるか年号が変わってるからちょっとよく分かんないけど、12、20年15年ぐらいかね、これ始めて。
We actually chatted for a while, but when I asked him if he had a favorite item in his collection, I don't think anything could have prepared me for his answer or the conversation that followed.
俺はね、竹が好きなんで、竹が一つのテーマになってるわけ。竹もいろんな種類があって、まあこの竹なんか葉っぱに縞模様がついててね、綺麗だと思う。竹の種類って日本には600種類もあるわけ。そう世界では1200種類。これは鈴子成平っていう品種なんだけど、まあかなり大行の名前だけど、鈴子成平ね、これが。このでかい竹はモソウチクっていうんだけど、このモソウチクっていうのはタケノコが食用になるんで、一番太くて大きなタケノコが出るんで、食用に一番いいこのモソウチクっていうのはものすごく繁殖力があるから、俺はまあこう竹類笹類竹林が好きで、ちょうど我が家の夕食時なんで
Oh, I absolutely love him. Also, did not expect the bamboo to be his favorite item out of everything. Oh, by the way, I don't actually fit through the door, so I've had to go through sideways every single time. There's no real public transportation access out here, which means if you come out, you've got to do so by car. But if you can, it's definitely worth it. Just do me a favor, be nice. Don't touch, take, or break anything. I know you wouldn't, but we also know that some people would. And whether you plan on coming or not, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this place. What did you love? What did you not love? Let me know down below, and I will see you again real soon.